We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar, field and fountain, moor and mountain, following.
Just before Christmas, Barbara and I attended 3 carol concerts in one day. Our grandchildren were variously a narrator, a choir member, and of course a king. The trouble that the king stirred up cannot be exaggerated, because they resulted in the death of a generation of boys in the town of Bethlehem. The question arises of why, if God was using them, it's hard to answer except to say that although their motives were pure, their source of information was mixed in their use of astrology. Add to that the vicious wickedness of Herod and you get a lethal cocktail. But ask yourself, is it any different to what's going on in Syria today? Man's inhumanity to man knows no bounds. Just thinking a little bit about what happened with the wise men turning up in Herod's court, I wrote a little thing called The Pharisee, which I'd like to read to you. Yesterday I had a message from Herod asking, telling me to come and see him with some of the other leaders. There's no putting him off, no saying, sorry, I'm tied up at present. That's what you would be, tied up I mean, then made a visitor to Herod's dungeon under the palace. I contacted the others and asked them what it was all about. Herod had really got his robes in a twist. No one knew except one person thought it might be to do with the 3 dignitaries that had arrived from out east with quite an entourage, camels the lot. Claimed they were wise men or magi, astronomers. I'm looking forward to meeting them. I never had much interest in astronomy myself. Once you know that the sun and the moon and the stars go round the earth, there's not much left to learn. We're at the centre of everything. And here in Israel, we're at the centre of the earth. So that puts us, and me in particular, in a most important position. They say that pride goes before a fall, but that doesn't apply to me. You see, I'm not proud. I really am exceptional. I can't help it. I was just born that way. I rose through the ranks of the other Pharisees quite young. I studied hard, outmanoeuvred the competition, got a helping hand here and there, in exchange for favours, and here I am, head of the list, cream of the crop, king of the hill, top of the heap, in the city that never sleeps. That sounds like a song lyric. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, so good they named it twice. No, it will never catch on. There are other groups or parties around. There's that miserable bunch that live up to their name, the Sadducees. Get it? Sad, you see. And boy, are they. They're all for joining in with the Romans and Greek culture. Water down all this religious stuff. Spread the love, add a little good liberality. But not us. We want to hold on to our traditions, keep the faith the narrow way. Obey the law, refine it and teach the masses, then ensure that they keep it. That's why we wear a box on our forehead with bits of scripture on it. It shows how diligent we are in keeping the law. And the masses, what do they know? They're ignorant and best kept that way. We don't want them to start interfering in religious things. Let them get on with living and do what they're told. One of my people, and you have to have people working for you. Some call them spies, informers. I prefer to call them my eyes and ears in dark places. One of them, close to Herod, tells me this meeting is about where the Messiah will be born. Apparently these magi have been following a star. It takes all sorts. And they believe the star will lead them to a new king over Israel. No wonder Herod has the wind up. A new king? He'll never let that happen. He's invested too much in crawling to the Romans, shedding too much innocent blood of people in his desire to keep his power. A new king? No chance. This is going to be tricky. How do we tell him that the scripture teaches that a Messiah will come and rule Israel, that he will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, a shepherd for his people. I never thought I'd hear myself say it, but maybe I should just tell Herod the truth, that the Messiah will be born in Bethlehem, and leave the consequences to him. Of course, these so-called magi may just be off their rockers, but just in case, I must start to think of ways that I can get to know this possible king and ensure that I become indispensable to him. He's going to need people like me who are worldly wise in the ways of governing the people. Yes, it's time to start preparing.
We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar.